Hi everybody, Mr. Street here. Today we're going to test out the pieces of wood that we glued together in class the other day. Okay, so we took some yellow wood glue, aliphatic resin, and we took that, glued it together. Remember that we had lots of surface area here, good coating of glue, put the clamps on it overnight, and so on. And so these sat with the clamps for at least 12 hours, probably 24, and we're going to try to break that apart. If I do like this, and just kind of pull and bend on it and stuff, nothing much happens. I'm going to try to enlist the help of the vise right here. Hold on, I'll shift the camera to see that better. Okay, there we go. So we're ready to put the power on it. I can do it by hand. I can just pull on it like this. I can hit it. That's pretty strong. Let's try this instead. Save me a little wear and tear on my hands. Okay, so it broke off. Well, what do you know about that? We're going to do that actually for all the different pieces of wood, because since we glued together wood in every class, we're going to do it for all of them and then take a look at the results. Okay, so this is. I'm sorry I did not keep track of which piece of wood came from which class. So we just have to assume they're all pretty similar. This one I would say probably has a little more area glued together there, but just the same. I think we can still break it. Well, that's interesting. Look at that. I suppose the glue joint didn't want to break. We just broke one of the pieces of wood. That's very interesting. We could try another method with that in a minute. Maybe I'll get a chisel and try to break it apart. Okay, let's try this one. We'll go from this side too. That'll be a nice test too. See, we're going to hit on the other side of the joint. Okay. Now we came apart. Okay, and one more. Just for fun. Okay, let's try that right there. Okay. Very good. Now. The other thing we did was we glued these pieces of wood together. Remember that they cracked here along the grain. It may be hard to tell, but that glue joint on this one is right about there, right along that line right there. So I'll take the tape off, even though tape doesn't add a lot of strength. Remember that the tape was there to squeeze it together while the glue's set. Okay, we're almost there. Ay. Seriously. Okay. Now I'm going to try to break the same way we broke it before, just by hand, knowing that it's really easy to split along the grain. It broke. Take a look at that. Okay, just a minute, we'll evaluate that a little bit. Here's another one. Here's another one. My hand. Okay, a little bit more tape here. Okay, this one has a glue, it's pretty hard to see. Oh, there, you can kind of see the glue oozed out right there. That's the glue joint right there. Pretty tight on this side, right? Okay, broke it. Okay. One more. Here's the blue line right here on this one. this one right here. Remember, the theory is that the glue joint is really strong. and done properly, the glue is just as strong, if not stronger, than the original wood. We will see. Take a look at these in a second. Okay, there we go. Just for the sake of science, we'll make sure we treat them all the same way. Okay, here's the glue joint right there. Whoops, sorry. Here's the glue joint right along there. You can see it pretty well hidden there. Okay, that one, it's hard to tell, but here's the thing to notice, okay? Pretty much all of these, especially the ones where we had the big glue area like this, right? We have a lot of glue. It's a significant amount of surface area gluing that together. We broke it, but notice it really wasn't the glue that failed. It actually was the wood being pulled apart to cause that joint to come apart. You can see that? It actually took a piece of wood off the one and kept it stuck to the other. That's how we broke the joint. It wasn't the glue. Same thing with this one, right? You can see a big chunk of wood came off of this piece and stayed attached to the other one. So we can really see, and that fits, you know, if you go back and put it back together, say, okay, that's neat. It's the original piece right there, and there it is. It broke like that. And so that's that's pretty good proof that the glue joint was strong, right? And it took a significant amount of force to separate that wood, right? So you actually, in all three of these cases, the glue joint did not fail at all. It's all a matter of, you know, tearing wood from one piece of wood and having it be attached to the other piece, you know, by the glue. So that's that's that guy. Now these others, it's a little hard to tell because I was a little bit too neat, I think. From what I can see, most of them broke in a different spot from the glue joint. Now this one, I think maybe did break on the glue joint. When I took it and broke it, I think, based on what I can feel here, this this looks like it actually was the glue joint that failed the second time, okay? On these others, I can definitely feel, and it's hard, maybe hard for you to tell, but the glue joint is actually right here. I'm feeling a little ridge of glue right there. And so the glue joint was strong. The thing that broke then was a different part of the wood, right? So adjacent, maybe a ½ an inch away from the glue joint is where the wood broke. So in that case, the glue joint held well, right? And with these others, this one, yeah, it also broke in a different spot. Okay, it may be hard to tell in the picture. Let me see if we can get a different angle on it. Right here is the glue joint. It's right along where my fingernail's running. It's rubbing hardened glue, right? Hardened glue, and there's a little tiny streak of it right there where my fingernail, tip of my fingernail is right there is glue. And so when I broke this one, again, it didn't break the glue joint. It broke adjacent to it and broke the wood again. And finally, this one here, this one here I can't tell. I think maybe it was breaking on the glue joint, but I can't tell for sure. But in general, the glue joints did well. Strong, particularly when you have a large surface area of glue. And as I said before, when I did them, good coating of glue, put those clamps on it, and nice and tight for 24 hours, and now you've got a strong piece of wood. This guy, I haven't done that before. That's pretty impressive. Maybe there's a little bit of weakness here where this knot is in the wood, right? And that allowed it to break easier there. I might try to break it apart with a chisel, but for now, we'll just stop this video here. Thanks for watching. Okay, let's take a test of this this piece of wood that was glued together. You can see here, this is the one I tried to break earlier, and it's it stayed together, and the piece of wood on the side, remember, failed instead. Here's the piece of wood, and when I hit it with the mallet, this is the part that broke. The glue joint stayed together. So that's a pretty strong glue joint. I figured it'd be fun to try to break it apart with a chisel instead. Let me adjust the camera here so that it gets a good view of that. There is the piece of wood. Maybe I can zoom in just a little bit. Okay. And I will try to position myself so you can see the wood and not have to look at me. Okay, I've got my safety glasses on, you don't have to believe me about that. And put a little piece of scrap wood down here underneath of it so that I'm not going to be pounding and trying to, make a big hole in the table in the process. We'll just position this chisel right over that joint and give it a couple whacks and see what happens. Whoopsie. This isn't totally a strong setup. That broke a little bit, and we'll try the other side. You can see it's pretty strong. That's a significant amount of force being driven in between those pieces of wood. One more whack over here to finish breaking it off. And you can see, to a great extent, again, it pulled off pieces of the other piece of wood when it finally broke loose. And now, jamming it with a chisel is a pretty severe test of the glue joint. But that did, the glue joint worked. It held it together pretty well there. Okay. So that is our glue demonstration. Thanks for watching.